it didn't work out. So I'm here again. So I just wanted to say that basically my life was a living hell from the age about 6.5 years old until I was around 11. And then it started to kind of go back into kind of like, I can breathe again. So this was really because my mother and father started rowing. They were really just going through their own breakdowns, and they just went a bit crazy, basically. And I couldn't take it, and I was also getting bullied at school, and my world imploded, and it broke my heart. It completely broke my heart. So to see the two people that I most loved in the whole world, who'd brought me into this world, kind of rowing and hating each other, it was so deeply painful. I felt it all in my heart. And then my dad left, and then we had this double life of going between one and the other, kind of custody battle stuff, and real bitterness from both of them. They wouldn't speak to each other, and there was this cold feeling between them, especially from my mum's side, but like actually both of them, so in different ways. So I don't blame one or the other. And my father also became a workaholic, and who already kind of was a workaholic, but that was also another aspect to this, and kind of borderline alcoholic and foodaholic. Yeah, it was real. And it was just, I melted down, and along with the bullying at school, and I was just really distraught, and I became awful, basically, to my brother and my sister, particularly my sister, because she was a bit younger. And it was a really awful, difficult time, and it was kind of a living hell, really, emotionally living hell. There was one time that my mum was taking us to school, and I hid, and I hid in a laundry basket, and she couldn't find me, so she took my brother and sister to school. Then she came back. Then I got out, whatever, and she was like, "Oh, there you are. Oh, And then she was like, "Oh, would you like to go to the shops? I'm going to the shops. Go on a trip to the shops." And she actually took me to school, and I was absolutely livid. I was kicking and screaming. She went and got a teacher to come and get me out of the car, and I wouldn't get out of the car. I was kicking and screaming. I was crying, kicking and screaming. I was that distraught. I wouldn't let the teacher touch me. I was kicking at her. Like, I was like, there's no effing way I'm getting out this car. There's no effing way I'm going to school. And my trust with my mother had been, she'd broken my trust as well. And I was just really, really distraught, and obviously became a lot to handle as well for my mum. It was living hell. So I wanted to share this because I am right in how I come across in videos, etc. In what I'm doing, what I'm sharing. I'm kind of playful and joyful and all of that, but it definitely hasn't always been like that. And I went from pain, sadness, and grief to rage. And so in my teens, I was raging, a rebel. I became very popular, and I rebelled against the school, teachers, and everything else. And if I'd been at a less than ideal school, I would probably have been expelled. But the school I was at was actually very cool, and I respected them as well. So it was like this funny kind of relationship. I was being antagonistic, but then also being kind of allowed to get away with stuff. And also just knowing, okay, this I can cross that boundary, but I can't cross that one. Um, so yeah, and then my emotional recovery started around when I was 17, when I had some art therapy, and I the art therapist was like, yeah, this what you've drawn here, this bit here, this is your emotional wound, and it's something that you need to look at to heal. And I was like, oh, and then it's like, what could that be? And it's like, oh, this is probably like kind of like not even kind of realizing, probably my parents divorcing, because that was a difficult time for me. Um, and little did I know how much at the time, how much that had affected my whole worldview, everything. Um, so it was hard, emotionally, very, 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 very tough. Um, and yeah, my father became a bit of a monster as well at times, because he was so stressed from his work and from what was going on, what happened with the family, and at times he'd just be really horrible to be around. Get us like suddenly he would like come in and go, right, Linda, my girlfriend's coming around for dinner, and this place needs to be cleaned up, and then we're literally like kind of the next 3 hours like ordered around to do the housework and shouted at, and it was really, really awful, really, really awful. And I was just, I kind of went to pieces at those points. And then he was like, why are you crying? And I was just like, I don't know where to start. I don't even know how to express myself right now. Like my emotions are not welcome here, clearly. And yeah, it was horrible. It was really horrible. But I love him dearly, and he's changed massively. Um, and he's a really, actually, very, generous and sensitive soul. But he was going through his own deep breakdown and didn't really realize he could get support or know even how to ask for support, and he never had a father. So, what to do? Um, so anyway, I just wanted to share a bit here because I can come across as all kind of playful and everything's fine, and I know it all, and I'm happy and I'm joyful and everything else, but I've been through hell, and it was a living nightmare. It was a living nightmare. I'm still in recovery from my childhood and from my parents' divorce. It was that intense. And I don't say that to ask for sympathy or anything like that. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. And would I prefer not to be? Yeah, of course. But I am. And the truth is I am. And that those wounds, I'm still healing those wounds. I'm still recovering my emotional self. But as I was saying to a client today, that hi Melanie, wonderful, well done, thank you for subscribing. As I was saying to a client today, that the pain that you've been through and the tribulations and the gauntlet that you've run in your life, the shadows, the difficulty, the challenge, can become your medicine that you administer to others. And that's what I do. I share a very empathic space of emotional healing, and also playfulness. And I had to recover my own inner child, and let go of judging myself and start to accept myself. And it's been like night and day since I did that, since I finally allowed myself to be myself. and realize that I am okay, that I am actually, it's kind of sounds crazy, but like I am allowed, or I exist and I am how I am, and there is no person I need to please or get approval from. It's me. It's me that needs to give myself the approval and accept myself. No one else. It's there's never been anyone else that I've needed, but it's just like realizing that I'm the one who gets to love and accept myself, appreciate myself, and allow myself to be myself. And it's huge. It's actually immense. It's actually completely immense and life changing when we have that visceral realization, when we allow that visceral realization that we are who we are, and that just is. And it's us that need to allow that in ourselves. And it's us that's holding us back. So I just made a video about that. It's life isn't holding you back, it's you that's holding you back. Because this has also been a realization that I get to choose, and it's my call, it's my choice. And it's actually always been my choice, although I didn't realize it. So obviously, as a child and everything else, you're so vulnerable and sensitive and impressionable. You kind of get what you're dealt, and you just, suck it up. You absorb what's around you, and this is part of the growth process. And whatever that environment was, and I'm fully aware that a lot of people, many people have experienced greater horrors than I have, and my heart really goes out to them, and I have so much compassion for them. And I don't think I would have the compassion I have or the empathy I have if I hadn't been through that living nightmare as a child. It's made me who I am. So like my wounds have made me who I am, and they've been portals into power and presence. And they've formed the shape of my own healing and my own medicine that I share with others. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Thank you for the hearts, Christian. So yeah, like I may appear happy, fulfilled, successful now, and I am, but it's not always been like this. And there are actually a lot of people going through hell right now, and there always has been, but they're putting on a brave face. And I want those people to know that I've been in hell myself, and I know what it feels like. And I blamed myself, ultimately. I blamed myself, and that's also, I think, part of the reason that turned me to meditation. It turned me to spirituality, because I was like, this world is absolutely bonkers. There has to be a meaning to all of this. There has to be an explanation for why it's so crazy, why it's so messed up. And I feel like that's part of the reason why I got very, very, very interested in the esoteric and the mystical when I was 11 years old, and started researching and looking and reading and everything else. And that was my whole focus, actually. And the older I got, the more interested I got, and went to my first workshops when I was 15 years old at the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival in London. Took the train from York with my brother, who's also keen and interested as well, and went to these amazing workshops with these incredible light leaders of the time, sharing their knowledge and their medicine and their wisdom, that gave me direct experiences of healing and meditation and chi energy and things like that, and the power of the voice and song and movement. I did my first trance dance, and it was so powerful and beautiful. And I remember phoning up my father actually from the expo venue and telling him about this, and him being like, "Oh wow, that sounds so interesting. Oh, it sounds very good. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself." And he did his best to support us, and he did the best that he could at the time. So he was actually a foster child as well. So talk about abandonment issues. No father and being a foster child. And I definitely inherited some of those abandonment issues. I'm writing a book about it called Healing the Father Wound. So I just wanted to share all of this, and yeah, just be real with people, whoever is interested to listen. And that's also, I feel, me being authentic and vulnerable and just sharing. And yeah, there are days when there are moments, particularly in days when I definitely feel I don't have it all worked out. And I definitely have many of my own struggles and shadow stuff I'm working with. And it seems to be an ongoing, continual process of shedding skins and peeling the onion and everything else. Particularly, the psyche and the emotional self, and the limiting beliefs and the patterns. I'm liquid fasting right now. I'm in day 4. And it's been really challenging. Yesterday was very challenging. Today, in terms of the liquid fasting, much better. And this is also another kind of discipline that I like to do occasionally, every quarter, to push my boundaries and check in with my body, reset the body. And also, it's a great meditation. It's a great way to build awareness. Really great way, because you see a lot through fasting. You see a lot of yourself. It's like, oh, revelation. So yeah, that's going on. Yeah, so thank you for watching. And you're not alone. You're not alone. We're actually all in this human experience together, and there is no one who is exempt from suffering. There is no one. But I really encourage you to challenge yourself and your assumptions about reality and your beliefs about reality, because it's quite possible that you are entertaining ideas and thoughts and beliefs that are simply not true, that do not stand up to the light of awareness. And oh, what a revelation it will be and is when you check them out against the light of awareness, of your own awareness, and actually really bravely and courageously look those thoughts, those beliefs in the eye and check them out. And what can happen can change your life as you start to realize you've been living in the unreal. And as you start to wake up to the real, to the truth, to the now, what starts to happen is absolutely miraculous. So join me. Join me here in this place of reality, of truth, of being real, of being authentically you. No one else. Everyone else is taken. Being authentically you, without masks, naked, raw, unfiltered, who you are. And Sat Nam, which is truth is my name. It is your name. It is our name. This is who we really are. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please like if you enjoyed that, and share and comment. I'm interested to know what's going on for you, and where you're watching from, and anything else that comes up, and how your childhood was. And if you'd like more help and to get a bit more real and to go deep and have some transformation and move and shift to the next level, to really allow what is possible for you, then book a call. Use the link in the description to book a call. I'll put that one in there. All right. Blessings to you. Bye for now. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Okay. Bye for now.